about to say.
I mean, signs of the time.
Yes, definitely signs of the time.
That would sound more like this.
Yeah, and definitely too much of that happening.
Entirely too much.
We'll get into that and other things happening. My name is Jasiri X. I'm co-founder and CEO of One Hood Media. This is This Week in White Supremacy.
Correction.
Yes.
Miracle and the mother niggas.
Oh, yes. Well, I was telling me who I am.
Oh, I don't think anybody cares.
Yeah.
No one cares who we are.
This is who I am. This is the name of our show.
Right.
And then the moment that you all want, and there, believe me, there's a lot. We have a lot of legal questions, Miracle.
We should do some pomp and circumstance before this. Can we get a drum roll for Miracle?
Oh, okay.
What happened? Why are y'all acting like this?
Miracle!
It's a miracle.
What is going on?
What's up, Miracle? How you doing?
We are making it. We are making it on this fantabulous Tuesday. The sun is out. It's going to be over 90 degrees. I'm so happy. You know, I am a fireside, so the heat, the sun.
Okay.
It's just like my time to shine.
Is it foreshadowing?
Let's hope not. Let's hope it's not foreshadowing anything.
That wasn't what I meant.
Like, you remember Daenerys? What did she say? When that dragon came, was
Dracarys.
Oh, yeah. Lord have mercy. Dracarys. Yeah. You know, I mean, and it's like even the national anthem, like the rocket's red glare. It's like
the rocket's blue glare. Come on,
the bombs bursted. We don't want that right now. But anyway,
I understand with the heat wave and and the fact that like we're about to burn alive. But
true, very true.
I was talking about you going to hell.
Oh God! Yeah. Wow.
I mean,
wow.
Okay. She out here, haram heathen. We out here,
let's go.
But we trying, at some point to do some better things. But it's hot. Get some iced tea, a mojito, lemonade.
Yeah. I was watching the show and the guy said, "I hope you don't go to hell because I never want to see you again." I thought that was hilarious.
That's great.
I thought that was.
I gotta start using that. I gotta start using that. That's brilliant,
sir. Who are you today?
Yeah, I had 2 root beers last night.
Okay.
I love root beer, man.
I hate root beer.
Root beer and cream soda, I think they're like terribly underrated drinks.
I think those are like
Remington, do you?
For the 50s, not for 2025.
50s is crazy.
Cream soda and root beer. That was the only choice in the 50s.
I love them both, man. They're great drinks, man.
You can hear butter pecan ice cream as well.
I'm not a big fan because I don't. Yeah, because it's just
you came out.
Did you want to introduce yourself, sir? Or maybe not.
No, I can't. Who I am.
I was gonna say no, maybe not. Maybe if they start, are they gonna start rounding up?
Yeah, I'm about to say
rounding up air.
I gotta wear the balaclava on here from now on, so niggas don't know who I am.
You already know. Again, it is.
Can I tell you? Like, it's
a lot happening.
Maybe she was right when she asked you.
Who?
Remember, she was like, "Are you afraid of getting deported?"
Oh my God! Yeah. That was yes. I mean, in January, no. In almost July?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. I carry my passport every day now.
That's why we have you speaking on Thursday.
Yeah.
Is that a good idea for me to speak on Thursday?
Probably not.
Right at the facility.
Probably not. They escort you right through those doors, my brother. Right inside.
You know who my lawyer is. Get my lawyer on speed dial immediately.
Wow.
We're like, they got him.
Well,
dang.
So
we have no alliterations.
Oh yeah. Do you what? Something?
Oh. The debonair deportee.
Oh wow. Wow.
The angry Arab.
Yeah.
The angry Arab.
Yeah.
The immaculate immigrant.
ISIS most wanted.
ICE most wanted. Ice baby. That's what they call me.
So
you gotta laugh through the pain.
These
ice baby.
Joyous, radical, and revolutionary in times of state violence.
What's wild? It's like every time we come on the show.
Pause. That was crazy.
Every time we come on the show?
Every time we appear on the program.
What? Come on, bro.
Every time we come on the show.
You know he's a 12-year-old boy.
What the hell?
This nigga paused me like 8 times before we even started recording.
Okay. Every show.
Mm-hmm.
In 2025 has been something more like ridiculous, more it's always been, every time we think Donald Trump has reached a point of like, okay, he's not gonna go beyond, we're not gonna see anything more ridiculous or crazy than this.
At least not for the next hour.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like he steps it up in a way.
It's impressive. It's very impressive.
I have decided that like we're just characters in the Truman Show.
We have to be.
And,
We have to be.
This is what's
This
happening.
is all just so meta. It's just
right. It's like if somebody presented this as a movie, they would be like, "This is bullshit." Like this would never happen. This man is conducting sensitive foreign policy on Truth Social.
Yeah.
Listen,
This man said, "Hey, yo, Iran, those guys that bombed you, they just landed on this airbase in Missouri. What are you doing, Donald?
like
What are you doing? Hey, yo, they just landed. Yo, I'll hit you with the, you share the location. I'll share the location with you if you want to know.
you can almost say it's a challenge. Like pull up, nigga, see what happens.
Well, again,
get
like,
active.
See
what happened.
Basically,
Donald said, "Who was we?"
Yeah.
It was them.
man, right? It was them.
It was P. Hegseth.
Right,
Them niggas.
right. Oh no, they didn't land anywhere near the White House or Washington D.C.
Take Missouri off the map.
They in
bro.
Missouri. Go over there. So
I can say this with full confidence. Bush would never.
but again, like
Bush knew how to keep a secret.
I mean, again, like one, the question was whether or not the United States was going to enter into this fracas, which turned into a war between Iran and Israel, right? And so the question was, and Israel did the preemptive strike. Iran responded. All of a sudden, all these American citizens, Israel, everybody's trying to get out of Israel and Iran. And the question was, will Donald Trump go into this war?
Right. I see what you did there. Good job.
So, and the reason why is because Donald Trump ran on no wars.
Right.
And a lot of his MAGA base were saying they did not want Donald Trump to get into this war at all, right? Tucker Carlson absolutely destroyed Ted Cruz around this issue.
Marjorie Taylor Greene has been speaking out.
Which is wild. Like Marjorie Taylor Greene has been saying like, hey, our platform was no foreign wars.
Yeah.
Not being involved in foreign wars. That was part of Trump and MAGA's platform. And so we didn't know.
They realized at this point, because they cut out all the DEI shit from the military.
Right.
They took away all the LGBTQI awareness and, representation in the military.
Oh, is
who's
that
left? MAGA. And them are the only people left to draft.
Hey, Proud Boys, suit up, my niggas.
Yeah. Get suited and booted, my nigga. Get
Suit
active.
up.
Get active.
You're headed to Iran.
Yeah.
So again, like, but the fact that Donald Trump says this announcement on Truth, it wasn't like a remember when we had real politicians where it would be like, it would be like they'd be in the Oval Office
in the war room,
and it would be on like all the TV stations, right? All the TV stations would take a break and the president would come greet you and they would say, hey, this is what's going on, right?
Right.
And it gives you that sense of, this is somebody in charge. This is somebody who knows they're doing. Trump just went to Truth Social and was like, yo, we just bombed Iran. It was wildly successful.
Imagine.
Blah, 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 blah. And that was it. And that's how we found out. And many people close to Trump and in Trump's atmosphere found out. And he did the same thing with the ceasefire.
Yeah.
He just went on Truth Social.
We need a Truth Social
announced
account.
it.
Because I need to see what's happening on there.
And just announced it. Well, we know what's happening.
You could just
Mad
go
white
to people
supremacy and
who retweet it on
racism.
X.
Oh.
Don't try to find your brother and tell me.
Truth Social might be popping.
Find you a MAGA wife.
Hey, the MAGA Muslims is out there clearly. They probably on Truth Social.
Well, again, I mean, that's a whole nother conversation about the,
he is trying to find his people.
The Muslims,
don't let him say he's trying to do it just to get
I'm just
intel.
saying, there's a whole nother conversation about Muslim and specifically Arab Muslims who endorsed Donald Trump because they said he would not do this. And he did it.
The lie detector determined that was a lie.
Again,
you just played in your faces.
You believe this man? That's a whole nother conversation for a little bit later on. Miracle. Mm-hmm. Okay. Mm-hmm. A ceasefire was announced.
Iran don't know what he's talking about.
Iran was like, we didn't get the paperwork with it. We didn't get the DM. We didn't get the Truth Social DM. And Israel was like, oh, ceasefire? Fire every single rocket that we have at this country, which is crazy. And I didn't say that. You know who said that?
Who said that?
Donald Trump said that. Do you want to play?
Oh my God! Yes.
What Donald Trump
I cannot
said
wait.
this morning.
This morning. Listen, again, I say this all the time on the show. People forget Trump is a New York gangster. So occasionally he's gonna get on TV and talk that New York shit.
He didn't. It's like, was he having trouble sleep? It's like if you catch Trump at any moment, he could say anything.
Anything. But you caught him at the right time. And to be honest with you, this is must-see TV on C-SPAN.
Israel, as soon as we made the deal, they came out and they dropped a load of bombs, the likes of which I'd never seen before. The biggest load that we've seen.
Pause.
I'm not happy with Israel. You know, when I say, okay, now you have 12 hours, you don't go out in the first hour and just drop everything you have on them. So I'm not happy with them. I'm not happy with Iran either. But I'm really unhappy if Israel's going out this morning because the one rocket that didn't land, that was shot, perhaps by mistake, that didn't land. I'm not happy about that. You know what? We basically have two countries
listen to any of
that
their
have
questions.
been fighting so long and so hard that they don't know what the fuck they're doing. Do you understand that? Israel is...
We need to cut that up as a drop. They don't know what the fuck they're doing.
Miracle, you know, I know how much you love diplomatic relations.
But I think this is what is needed because people,
wait a second.
No, because
Donald Trump is what's needed right now?
public conversation about being honest about what is happening and what is going on instead of we have this ceasefire, we have this agreement, we don't know what happened, we don't know how it fell apart.
Right.
We get to see how it fell
we
apart.
saw it and we saw it in HD. We saw it in 4K.
Be honest, but like that is Israel's MO. Whenever they do a ceasefire, right before it goes into effect, they usually just, as a warning or whatever, just drop everything. And it's like, why? You've already agreed to stop killing people. Why do you need to get the last few, right? And Iran was like, well, if you're going to go, then I'm going to go. And then, like, we start this whole cycle all over. Yes. And so I do think it is in contrasting to what Biden would do, was when there would be a ceasefire, he would announce a ceasefire, and then Israel would be like, no, actually, we don't want to keep the ceasefire. He'd be like, I don't know what happened. We tried so hard. And then,
but shouldn't you, if you are conducting sensitive foreign policy things, right?
No, because he's trying to build pressure. That's what he's trying to do. He's basically trying to be
I didn't finish the whole thing, right? Shouldn't all of this be there should be a private conversation, and I'm assuming there is a private conversation.
Apparently there wasn't because Iran was like, what are you talking about, bro?
Exactly. So he's just on Truth Social like, it's a ceasefire.
He just chatting shit.
But I'm saying I understand, calling out the person that broke the ceasefire, and by all accounts, obviously we don't know, but from what we saw, now Israel is saying that Iran broke the ceasefire.
Of course they are.
But again, all we saw was like a ceasefire was announced and just a rain of missiles headed towards Iran. So we don't know what you said Iran did or whatever, right? So I understand putting public pressure. I'm just saying the entire legislation of this has literally been on Truth Social. I mean, including, threats to Iran or when Iran launched missiles at the United States base in Qatar and Iraq, Trump went on Truth Social and was like, yeah, that was a weak response. That wasn't what? Hey, Trump, we don't want a strong response. We live here.
I think
what are we doing?
Am I getting it wrong? I think the Prime Minister Qatar, went to X and was like, listen, we are very upset about our sovereignty being violated.
100%.
Everything is playing out on social media.
It's very weird.
Which is crazy.
But I think a part of it is that because the Biden administration messed up their ceasefire
here we go. Here we go.
So
it was only a matter of time.
Right? That they were like, who said what? Who said this? People are like, people are now writing to social media. This is what we agreed on. This is what we're thinking. This is our thought process. So now
Biden's fault.
It is always Biden's fault.
That's
always
crazy.
the man.
The one thing you and Trump have in common is blame Biden.
I think you get to see what is happening out in the open. I think it is a
you
level
think
of
you approve of this?
No,
strategy.
I think it's a level of messed up transparency. Traditionally, what happens is everybody sends a representative. They go in the room and negotiate. They get on the phone, and everybody agrees.
Yes,
but I think there is a part of some of these elected officials. These are people in power who really do not care about their citizens, right? They are just so used to playing war games. Pete Hegseth is out here thinking he's playing war games, right? They're
like
not
this is
thinking
like
about
this is the PlayStation, whatever.
They're not thinking about people's lives, right? And so if you are so invested in just like killing,
yes,
you need at some point people to be like, you know what, y'all gotta stop. And I think that people are seeing how flimsy our democratic process really is, and our diplomacy efforts have been. And it's like this is like the last ditch effort because we are already in World War III. We are just trying to keep the United States itself from physically being attacked, on the continent.
The conversation around why Iran was attacked is because Iran was supposedly reached a certain level of uranium enrichment in which they could
synthesize a bomb,
build a nuclear bomb,
That is so illegal and irrelevant.
Hold on, wait, let me just finish, Miracle, because but at the same time, why would they want to build a nuclear bomb? Because that seems to be the only thing a country needs to prevent you from attacking it. So it's like if you're not attacking Russia, you're not attacking these other countries because they have nuclear weapons. And so if I'm a country and I see the only thing that will actually protect me from having bombs rain down on me and my country is a nuclear bomb, why wouldn't you then want to develop one? Right? You know what I'm saying? So again, I think that is wild to watch, and there's a whole nother conversation about the bloodthirsty actions of Netanyahu, and at what point to me, his actions have caused so many to turn on Israel, and again, Israel, the people that are in Israel and the government of Israel are two different entities. Because there are people in Israel that are against what Netanyahu is doing. In fact, a lot of them. So I just don't understand. I mean, we understand, right? Bill Clinton said he wanted to bomb Iran because it would guarantee he'd be in power forever. And like you said, it's like you don't care about people's lives. You don't care about you just care about your own power. And this is what brings us to this point, because we have these leaders, always a man, that only care about power and don't care about what happens later. Because when Iraq was bombed, it produced ISIS. It produced an even more radical, even more militarized group of people that began to wreak havoc all over the world. So what do you think is going to happen now? I just don't understand. You think you're going to bomb somebody into submission?
No, and I think it's also this idea that we have wasted billions of dollars. I don't think people understand. We have wasted billions upon billions upon billions of dollars on these bombs, on these missiles, on fooling these airplanes.
Teach on the rail. The rail we could have, Miracle.
Yes, we could have high-speed rail. We could have affordable. I don't think people understand. There is so much money that has been invested in wars and genocide and death all over the globe, right? Because you're trafficking guns, you can say war is the money laundering scheme. And at this point, it's we are literally telling people we do not have enough to do student loan forgiveness, do affordable housing. We have, farms going under. We have people saying they can't get Medicare, Medicaid, and SNAP benefits because we're so broke, our debt is so high. But meanwhile, we got money to just drop a bomb here, drop a bomb there, shoot a missile here, shoot a missile there. It don't make no damn sense.
And what is going to be the possible outcome, or the probable outcome, is that gas is about to go up.
They're saying $15 a gallon
So now here's Donald Trump saying to the Department of Energy, drill, baby, drill, and I mean now. Yeah. And then Trump went on and said, everyone, this is in all caps too, keep oil prices down. I'm watching. You're playing right into the hands of the enemy. Don't do it. But again, that's not capitalism. Capitalism is when you need my product, I can charge you whatever I want. Now, that's how you got rich, Trump.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So now we have a situation where none of these prices on any of these groceries went down. You know what I'm saying?
It almost
seems like, yeah, everything went up, and now gas is going to go up.
It almost seems like we've been here before. And
it's like,
doesn't this seem like really familiar territory to anybody?
But I
mean, if you, absolutely. I have a different question for you, Miracle, which is, once this happened, right? Once Trump decided to bomb, and again, as far as we know now, I don't know if there's been an investigation on who made where was the meeting? Supposedly, nobody told Pete Chesef anything, so he couldn't signal out the shit. But the question is this constitutional? So as soon as Trump, basically entered into this war, AOC and others said that this was grounds for impeachment, that he bypassed Congress,
correct,
that he did this unilaterally. So will this cause any type of impeachment proceedings? No.
Speaker Johnson, who is the leader of the Republicans and basically the leader of the House, because the Republicans have the majority, basically said he thinks the limits on the president's power is what's unconstitutional, not the president violating the Constitution through the War Powers Act, right? So, no. And again, if you cared about, powers, when Biden was out here sending bombs, you would have been like, hey, you got to go through Congress.
But sending, that did go through Congress, right? Congress was deciding
before.
I'm just saying, Congress was deciding to send bombs, but sending, saying we're going to send weapons to an ally is different from we're going to send
correct.
Right, we're going to send American pilots and American planes.
American pilots. No, but think about it. When we went into to get the hostages by using that float that was supposed to be getting the aid in, that was American service members on boots on the ground.
Right. But that's different than we're going to fly planes to bomb a sovereign country. So I just want to read what AOC said. She said the president's disastrous decision to bomb Iran without authorization is a grave violation of the Constitution and congressional war powers. He has impulsively risked launching a war that may ensnare us for generations. It is absolutely and clearly grounds for impeachment. You're saying that's correct, incorrect, or you're saying that it's correct, but it's not going to happen?
The latter. It is grounds for impeachment, but the impeachment is not going to happen, right? No one's going to impeach. I think Summerlee was having a conversation on social media and was like, in order to get the impeachment process started, you have to have Speaker Johnson convene everybody.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Put the parliamentarian in, all this type of stuff, right? So just procedurally, it's not going to happen.
Right.
But also, I do think that there are so many people who are literally too afraid to impeach Donald Trump because of the donors on both Republicans and Democrats side who have invested, Palantir has invested so much money into elections, so has the NRA, so has AIPAC. A lot of Congress people own stock, right? And a lot of these military companies, obviously, people will always put out oh my gosh, this person owns this much stock, this person owns that much stock. They're literally becoming millionaires in Congress based upon these bombings. So I don't really see people going, you know what, we're gonna take away our piggy bank.
Right.
And I in the show with Chinjaraj, when he was talking about the protests of the 2 years have allow politicians to realize they can out navigate people's anger and being upset. I think that that's where we are right now. Our politicians are not afraid of us. They don't listen to us. You know, Fetterman hasn't even shown up to have any type of engagement, right?
Right.
So it's
I mean, he can't be running again. I mean, at some point we're going to hear some announcement that Fetterman's not running again. I mean, like if you want to get reelected, you have to show up in some form or fashion. I think the question is, and this is for both you all, is this again? We've been asking, like, how far can Trump go before his base says this is too far? This is probably the most
irate.
In terms of the highest, like Tucker Carlson is somebody who's a very well-known, I mean, he's an asshole, but he's a very well-known MAGA person. Marjorie Taylor Greene is somebody who was literally planned January 6th, right? Not that I'm saying, she came out and was like, yo, we were just planning.
Yeah.
We just planning this crazy January 6th. So like, she's coming out. So like a lot of these MAGA people, kind of like what Farouk said earlier, because you're going to be the ones, right? You didn't want immigrants in the military. You didn't want black people in the military. There was something that they were like, if you have razor bumps, you have to get out the military. Well, I guess I'm not going to be in it. And so the people who are going to die now are these,
white
MAGA white people. Is this the fracture that is going to finally have people questioning Donald Trump or eliminate his base? Because,
yes, if he can get this ceasefire together and it keeps going on, you have Lindsey Graham, who every day salivates at the idea that we can like go in and like bomb and kill Iranian people like every single day.
He's probably salivating over some other stuff too.
Allegedly. But
allegedly.
I mean, that's the reality is you didn't want trans people. You said women shouldn't be here. They're not strong enough. You're kicking out the black people using like the grooming standards because you've taken away the ability for black men not to shave. Yeah. All type of stuff.
It's saying right now a majority of the people are against these strikes. Like a majority of the people, because we know that it makes us more unsafe.
And the majority of people want single-payer health care. The majority of people want student loan forgiveness. The majority of people just want to live. But we have assholes in Congress who don't care what the people want.
Can I tell you a story? So I'm at the airport yesterday, right? I'm at the airport yesterday. And, I'm with my daughter. And we look, and it was just like two bags that was like sitting. It was like right next to us. It was like two bags that were sitting there. And I was like, hey, yo, like, who is going to come? I'm trying to look at the TSA person and communicate via mind, because I don't want to be the snitch. I don't want to be like, hey, yo, security. But then there was a part of me that was like, hey, yo, nobody sees these bags sitting here with no one around them. And then you start thinking about what's happening right now. So me and my daughter, obviously we're joking. Me and my daughter was like, oh yeah, this is something, we're done. We're right by the bags. Like we're done. So again, it's like, we have this fear because of what you're doing. Like, leave these people alone. But and thankfully, I don't know if anybody ever picked them bags up. I certainly was like, every time a TSA person walked by, I'm like, yo, like, look at this. Hey,
you should have moved from the bags. They probably thought they were yours.
We were in line, so we couldn't, we were in line because we missed our flight and we had to rebook the flight. And the bags were like right next to the line. And it was mad people walking by the bags. And I wanted to be like, hey, yo, inspect these for God's sake.
Somebody like, excuse me, whose bags are these?
So it was already dangerous to be at an airport because the damn planes are falling out of the sky.
What do you tell me every time I get upset?
What I tell you?
Like, Allah is the best known.
Yeah, I'm just saying. It's crazy right now. It's getting crazy. Like, I don't feel more safe. I feel absolutely
unsafe. Nobody feels safe. You see I shared a reel on Instagram with somebody was like, everybody's converting, like, I am, I'm a good.
Yes.
Everybody's being like, who is we?
Like, I saw the one where they had the electoral college map, and it was like, this is America, and they just outlined all the red states. But we're a red state now.
But it said the map was wrong. It had Pennsylvania being blue.
Okay.
So I was like, we're gonna make it.
And this is the thing. Okay, go ahead, Miracle.
But I think it's kind of funny because that was the first time you've seen so many people be like, "Yeah, we did not bomb you." Like
we didn't know.
Iran, we talked like people were tweeting like Khomeini like on social media, but like, "Sir, it's not me.
Yep.
This is where you need to go." Like who when they came out and said we said, what American? Like, can you quantify? Because back in 2013, you were with the black people, right?
Yes.
You used to say you were Black Lives Matter just a few years ago. Like, who are you talking about, right?
Yes. Somebody put the map and was like, "Here's Trump is right here. He's playing golf right now." Like, And
a part of me was like, this is what the world is supposed to be, right? It's supposed to be us talking to each other, laughing with each other, making jokes, making food. It's not supposed to be us at war with each other.
Yes.
And I think that when we're looking at like, how do we get out of this? Like, what is our next step? Like, because we cannot be at war forever. Like, I think it's just not physically possible.
Yeah. I mean, I would say that it is.
If we're running out of money.
Again, if we had this, and we don't have to play the clip, but there's a clip of President Clinton, former President Clinton, saying, Mr. Netanyahu has wanted to fight Iran because that way he can stay in office forever and ever. So it's like, if he's in office forever and ever, and he's somebody that is going to, strike first, is going to have this philosophy of just war, kill, we might be. You know what I'm saying? Like, unless there can be some type of election change in Israel with some type of more sensible person that can be at the helm of this government, I mean, again, like, will the ceasefire even be honored? Because by honoring a ceasefire, in both cases, by honoring a ceasefire when it comes to Palestinians in Gaza and honoring a ceasefire when it comes to this, then you have a time for people to investigate actually what happened. And by all accounts, if they investigate what happened, all of this falls on Netanyahu. And so it's like, in order to keep himself in power, he has to just kill more people. I mean, it is insane, but this is what we're watching.
And I think people are starting to realize that, and everybody right now is like, people are afraid to go to prison. They're afraid to get arrested. You see all this type of stuff happening. But I think what people didn't realize is, like, Trump is trying to make money. Okay, he's tired of people going places, people protesting. Yeah. He's like, y'all are messing up his vibe. This is not what he wanted for his whole entire.
He just wanted a little parade. That's all.
His whole entire presidency is now marked by what's happening in the Middle East. And he used to be the person that said, "I brought peace to the Middle East. I negotiated all this type of stuff," and it's about to implode.
But Miracle, he was also the guy that was like, "Oh, Obama's going to attack Iran because his presidency is going bad." And so here was Donald Trump, presidency going bad. He's in the 30s when it comes to approval rating. And so he thinks, "Oh, I'm going to attack Iran." People were saying, like, all of these questions that it came out about his ICE policy, about what was the company that you just named? Palantir. Like, all of these things were kind of bubbling to the surface, and then he bombed Iran, and all that conversation is gone now.
Hakeem Jeffries had sent on the email the other day talking about, he and Speaker Johnson are going to have to get together and talk about how they're going to keep Congress safe, because it's getting wild out here.
It's getting wild.
People are tired. Like, now the war is coming to our steps and our doors in ways that it's not some foreign terrorist that is going to, it's going to be someone who's homegrown. A lot of these veterans are angry and upset and irate, and they're coming and they're pointing their fingers at folks. They have that military training, so there's also a fear of jaded, disenfranchised veterans coming through and saying, "Hey, I'm trying to uphold the Constitution. Y'all, Trump is a threat to it. What's going to happen?"
I mean,
and so
one of that video of the landscaper that was being beaten down by ICE, and somebody identified him according to what they said, and he has one son that's a former Marine and two sons in the Marines right now. You know what I'm saying? And so, like, here's somebody that, and he's just doing some landscaping. So like you said, if that keeps happening, and again, you're only going to export violence for so long that the imports got to happen. You know what I'm saying? You can only export it for so long, and then it's coming back. You know what I'm saying?
Famous reverend.
Right. And we are kind of seeing that happen right now. Let's pivot. It's funny because there's also another article that said they don't even know. They don't even know where, if they even got the uranium stockpile, if Iran still has the uranium. I mean, it's.
And Russia said, we'll give you whatever you need.
Russia said that to Iran?
Yeah, they're like, well, we got you, bro. What do you need?
Wow.
That's a logical team up. Like, Iran is always going to be supported by Russia. China's probably going to take Iran's side.
Yeah.
So, like,
and they're saying, like, China. I was reading this article. They were saying, like, China is winning World War III without firing a shot. Yeah. Like, while we're doing all of this craziness, China's just quietly building these alliances, getting more resources. There was an article that I read that said most of the rare earth materials China has now.
I mean, because of all the business they've been, like, the economy they've been producing in Africa.
It is wild.
China, we are not your enemy.
Wait, and it's so crazy because right before this happens, right before Trump announces he bombed Iran, Pakistan nominated him for the Nobel Peace Prize. What? Can somebody, where's Pakistan at right now? Hey, Pakistan, where you at? Can we get a comment from Pakistan now? Like, literally, they nominated him for a Nobel Peace Prize, and the next day he bombs Iran. Again, if we tried to write this script,
yeah, I mean,
it wouldn't make any sense.
It wouldn't make any sense.
But
is there any? Do you think Trump can win?
The president of China just said we can move on beyond America.
Yeah, say that.
And like, here we are. And I do think that, like, for all intents and purposes, Trump is the person who really can be like, you know what, we're done. Like, put on True Social, we are all ceasefires, Congo, Rwanda, like, everybody, all genocides, stop right now. Like, RSF, quit it out. Like, he could, like, I think that at this point, it's too expensive. People can't travel anymore.
I'm looking
think about.
I'm looking at the news. I just real quick. Tropical storm Andrew is coming.
We're fudge.
The top, it says Trump administration scrambles to rehire key federal workers after Doge firing.
I mean,
Trump used Juneteenth to denounce non-working. We forgot about that.
Trump said people don't want days off.
This nigga, right? Yeah.
On Juneteenth, sir.
Some observers said it was not a coincidence. I mean,
No. Like, on Juneteenth.
On Juneteenth,
you'll come and say people want to work every day.
Yes.
No days off.
Yes, and America's losing billions of dollars.
No doubt. It reminds me of something. Forced servitude just reminds me of something.
Well, do you know?
I don't know what Juneteenth was. Just reminds me of something.
Who made Juneteenth a federal holiday, Miracle?
Black people. Opal. Opal did. So,
speaking of
Queen Opal.
Speaking of horrible Democratic. Juneteenth was a good decision. That was President Biden. He signed it into law.
Was Opal clean her, big her up?
Right now, there is a mayoral race happening in New York City. We get on here and we talk about, and there's been this conversation, right? When Trump wins and the Democrats as a whole, popularity just plummets to the ends of the earth, right? And people are wanting Democrats to rally and, to fight back against Donald Trump, to create new policies, to like embrace the new generation. And it seems like the Democrats are like, no, what we got for y'all is these 70 plus. All we got for y'all is some 70 plus folks that's been in office for 100 years and ain't doing nothing new. Well, nothing has highlighted the fracture of the Democratic Party like the New York City election, where you have, I want to say Zoran Mamdani. Oh, look at me pronouncing names, and Andrew Cuomo, right? And you have again, this is something that it was a post on Instagram by Queen Quarantino. It says the irony is that Zohan is everything the Dem Party has been looking for. Young, authentic, good podcast hang, can reach young men, but Democratic mega donors see his policies, rent freeze, taxing the rich, as a threat to their interests, so they're going to pull out all the stops, right? Cuomo has a pact that has over 30 million, that has spent $30 million attacking Zohan. A lot of these attacks have been very anti-Islam, you know what I'm saying, or flaming Islamophobia, as if this guy is going to be there.
Yeah, even Lauren Luma.
Well, right.
Shit,
well,
yeah.
Again, if you get endorsed, so far Andrew Cuomo has been endorsed by, again, I don't know. I kind of want to. I shouldn't say that. Can we come here, camera? Can some? Hey, James Clyburn, could you shut the fuck up? Like, can this? You're in South Carolina. Go fish somewhere. But anyway, James Clyburn, how he became the voice of black people and black voting constituents, I don't know. Well, I mean, he did because of Joe Biden.
You mean because he cut a deal with Republicans to save his seat and allowed South Carolina to get gerrymandered? Is that what we're talking about?
That's that what he did?
Is that what we're talking about?
I didn't know he did that. Clyburn. So the Democrats are pulling Clyburn, Bill Clinton, Laura Loomer, and the libs of TikTok all have endorsed Andrew Cuomo. Didn't matter that he was obviously, rightfully so, had forced to resign because of all these women that he harassed. You know what I'm saying? It didn't matter that he, made decisions during COVID that cost the lives of mad elderly people when they did an investigation, unreported the deaths. It was way more deaths as possible. But it's like, come on, bro, this man, why would you want to pull this man out of his deathbed, his political deathbed, and have him be now a place or a seat where it is somebody, we can have somebody young, we can have somebody capable, we can have somebody that energizes the Democratic base. Am I going crazy? Why don't the Democrats want this man? What is going on?
I said it before, and I'll say it again on here.
Say it again.
The Democrats are invested in the current status quo because they benefit from all the Republican strategies.
Right.
Like, they have no incentive to relinquish power or change anything. Yes. And just as, like, for all of you who are our age and older, they remember the propaganda that was used by the Bush administration about Iraq, about weapons of mass destruction.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
The same playbook is being used against Zoran Mamdani as they used against Obama when he first came into the campaign trail, saying that he was a communist, that he was going to bring in Sharia law, and he's going to change this in some radical fashion that's bringing in, like, these Eastern values into a Western country.
Right.
And this is literally, like, simultaneously happening with Iran juxtaposed from Iraq and Obama juxtaposed for or superimposed on Zoran Mamdani.
Right.
And the thing is, it's like, people are falling for this. People who are old enough to remember the strategy from 20 years ago are falling for it. People who haven't seen it because social media didn't exist back then are falling for it.
Right.
Laura Loomer is literally using the same talking points that so many people from the right used against Obama. And what's scary about this is when Obama was running for president both times, attacks on Muslims were high in New York. They were high in these these metropolitan areas.
Right.
So what this does, it's not even a dog whistle. This is an outright call to arms against Muslims, against immigrants in New York City. Right. There's already I really the thing is, all politicians are gonna let you down if you believe enough in them, right?
100%.
But one thing I respect Mamdani for saying was the eagerness he had to get out with the Jewish constituencies across all 5 boroughs. Right. As a Muslim's, like, I want to come to synagogue. I want to come to these places and have this conversation because he sees the play. He sees how difficult, this can create so much more tension in New York City. Like, if you never lived there, you don't know what the tension is like at times.
Right.
But what these people are calling for, the Laura Loomers and these other people, the Cuomos and
literally the worst. It was similar to Donald Trump, like the worst people in the world coming together and backing a horrible, horrible human being in Andrew Cuomo.
And it puts a lot of innocent people at risk because, we've showed videos on here of Muslims just living regular lives getting attacked.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, over the course of this show.
In one of the ads, and they showed one that they increased Mondami's beard.
Right, yeah, they made him look more terroristy, more September 11th.
Make him darker, increase his beard. Again, like you said, we saw them do this to Obama, right? We saw them put Obama and Michelle, Barack and Michelle, on the cover of New Yorker dressed as terrorists, right?
Right, yeah.
We watched this whole play, and again, but what did Barack become? Barack became the greatest force the Democrats have seen in the last 100 years. And I mean, brought all of these young people, these black people, these people that had never voted and been engaged in politics, were all brought into this process by Obama, 1-2 terms. So here you have Democrats, you have somebody that is charismatic, that is young, that is bringing all of these people into this process that has never been a part of it before, but you would rather stick to Andrew Cuomo. You want Andrew Cuomo. You don't want to win.
They don't. And
you don't want to win elections.
What was the biggest thing Trump said against Obama all the time? He said his full name, Barack Hussein Obama, and that's exactly what's happening here. You're weaponizing identities, and you're playing a really dangerous game with a lot of people's lives, specifically right now, bombing Iran, Palestine. Like this is a very very scary situation.
Right. And again, he's received death threats. Like you said, when you make it about like be afraid of this scary Muslim. Regular Muslims just living, not even Muslims, because you had Sikhs get attacked.
Yeah, man.
You had just Arab, Persians, whatever get attacked, right? And now with going to war against Iran, it heightens this stuff. Miracle, you have been. You have kicked the Democrats back in probably as much as anybody on the planet, right? Again, why? Explain it to me like I'm 5. Why would the Democrats not want somebody new, young, vibrant, and charismatic that can help not only revive their party, but bring all of these new young people in, the ones we supposedly have been trying to reach?
I just want to first start off by saying Zohran Mamdani is not even the only candidate in the race.
True.
Right.
There were so many other people. Lander, for instance, right there, right?
Yeah.
The establishment could have coalesced around him.
Right.
They chose to coalesce around a sex pest.
Michael Blake. You know what I'm saying? Somebody who was literally a disciple of President Obama.
They chose to coalesce around someone who killed grand people, who defunded the MTA, essentially, who used his office to harass women and make it an unsafe, detrimental workplace. They are choosing to do this because they do not care about if somebody's young or old. All they care is if this person is going to make it so poor black and brown working class people are stuck at the bottom and therefore able to be exploited and preyed on by their donors. That's essentially what has happened to the Democratic Party, because in no way, shape, or form did you have 8 months to pick a candidate, and you chose the one who had to resign in disgrace. You chose the one who nobody actually really liked. You chose the one who goes against everything that Donald Trump stands for, who supports everything that Donald Trump stands for, a sex pest, someone who doesn't believe in social services.
Somebody who said 5,000 more police, right? Somebody who said, oh, what ICE is doing is not that bad, right?
Who has refused to visit a mosque, right? Who can't even talk about the mosque and the Muslims he has sat down with and dined with. Zohran is not the issue. The Democratic Party is the issue.
Right.
And at the end of the day, I think we need to even have a further conversation about, is the Democratic Party even safe for women to engage and to support from Bill Clinton to today? All we have are these sex pests who literally are using their positions of power to prey on innocent and vulnerable people. Right. And at the time when we're talking about incels, at the time we're talking about male loneliness, at the time we're talking about there is a problem reaching men, why is it that we're trying to signal the men that we want are the ones that violate women? Right. That to me doesn't make any sense. And so that is why I'm angered. I hope the people of New York pick Zohran and rank him and move the page on this violence and harassment. But I am just incredulous at the fact that there were other people the Democrats could have chosen. And and refuse to do so.
Right.
And the fact that we are allowing millions of dollars in our election, right? We just saw this here in Pittsburgh. We allow Republicans and conservatives to put millions of dollars to prevent progressives from reaching and keeping power.
Right.
And then we want to be like, well, why don't people believe in our party anymore?
100%. Yeah. Why aren't black people? And we had a conversation here with a group of young black men who all said, we do not consider ourselves Democrats. The Democratic Party has shown they don't have our best interests at heart. And a lot of it revolved around, like you said, these policies that that Mondami is running on. It's like the Democrats are not, the policies that I want, they're not backing. And Andrew Cuomo is somebody that is not backing these policies that most young people want. And so again, you can't have it both ways. You can't just put out your fake rap album covers and think a young person is going to be scrolling Instagram and be like, ooh, look at Hakeem Jeffries. He's sitting on the steps and looking hard. No, we want real policy. We want somebody that's, I mean, they had a video of Mondani going like walking the length of Manhattan, right? We want somebody that's going to come out to us, talk to us, embrace us, make us feel like we're seen, we're cared about. Andrew Cuomo?
Yeah.
So like, why would you do that other than, like you said, Farouk, other than this status quo, right? Because Andrew Cuomo and a lot of the donors to Andrew Cuomo donated to Donald Trump.
Yeah.
We saw that here in Pittsburgh, right? A lot of the people that donated to Donald Trump donated to the man that won the Democratic primary in Pittsburgh.
I like how you did that.
Corey O'Connor, right? So a lot of them, we saw this. And so like you said, to Miracle's point, it's like, oh, you don't care about us as black people. So then when you come to us and say like, why won't you be involved, or why aren't y'all excited? We tried. You know what I'm saying? We were excited. And you didn't embrace us when we come in. You tried to stamp us out. You tried to kill us. And so we hope, the polls are saying that he's in the lead. We're hoping that New Yorkers decide to vote for somebody new, fresh, and young. But again, even when they do it, just like when we won these races here, the establishment Democratic Party didn't have nothing to do with us winning these races. We did this ourselves.
All the community organizers, all the people with voices, all the cultural representatives.
Yes, the artists, grassroots folks came together, and you see that happening in New York City. You see artists, you see grassroots folks, you see podcasters, you see all these folks coming together and collectively saying this is who we want, despite the Democratic Party. And so when you do these whatever polls and research, it's right here in your face.
Yeah,
this is why we don't mess with y'all. You know what I'm saying? And this is why at some point we gotta do our own. We gotta create our own thing at some point.
Yeah.
Because this is ridiculous. But even more ridiculous.
What's more ridiculous than the Democratic Party at this juncture?
Maybe the best or worst headline I have ever read.
Do we need a drum roll?
From The Guardian. Harvard hired a researcher to uncover its ties to slavery.
And what happened?
He says,
what happened, Jasiri? Did he find what he was hired to find? Did he do a good job? Did he do a good job?
The suspense.
He said the results.
Did he do a good job?
Did he get promotion?
Did it work out? What happened?
The results cost him his job.
Why?
Quote,
Wait, why? Why?
Hold on, breathe. Deep breaths.
We found too many slaves.
Too many slaves.
Oh my God.
How many slaves was you expecting to find? Was there a quota? Like, if you find 5, all right, that's fine. 10, okay.
It was like 3 to possible.
We
like
found
under.
too many slaves. It's nuts.
Too many slaves.
Because when we say we built this, we meant we built this.
It says when the extent of the university's involvement with slavery was unearthed, a scholar tracking the descendants of enslaved workers was suddenly fired on. Hold up, homie. Hold up a second. How many?
Not getting fired on your day off.
How many? How many slaves did you find?
Like,
and you can imagine the meeting too. Hey, we got Hey, yo, man, he's going crazy.
He going crazy. It's crazy.
He's going crazy over there. Every day, this nigga finds more slaves.
Every day you find a nigga.
We gotta do something about this man. He has to be stopped. So then it's like, well, how many slaves could he have found?
The fact
if he wasn't fired,
man.
Oh my God.
What was the number? Did we get a number? 272. In 2015, he started an independent project at Georgetown University in Washington, D.C. to locate the descendants of 272 people sold by Jesuit leaders in the 1800s to raise money for the university.
That's crazy. It says, but it gets deeper.
They found 10,000 direct descendants.
Right, because then you owe these people. Right? Because once you find these descendants,
wait.
How do you make reparations?
Cellini and his researchers have identified more than 900 people that have been enslaved by university affiliates, which includes faculty, staff, and people in leadership positions.
Crazy.
And nearly 500 of their direct living descendants.
That's what I'm saying. So now you have to how do you make reparations? But this is the deep part. It said Harvard is not the only academic institution with this burden. Currently, more than 100 universities across the world are investigating their ties to slavery. Well, don't hire this man because he's gonna find them slaves. What's under that cup right there? Yo, what's under that sofa? Another slave?
Niggas just finding slaves, man. That Harvard hired a researcher to uncover his ties to slavery. He says the results cost him his job. Quote, "We found too many slaves."
That is so crazy.
Too many slaves is crazy.
That is so crazy. So
what's the appropriate version? What's the appropriate number of slaves?
Like 0?
Well, I mean, clearly, if you have to say a sentence is too many slaves, that indicates that there is an appropriate number of slaves, an adequate number of slaves.
I don't know. I believe that. I may be wrong, but I believe Harvard was like, if you are a descendant of slaves, you can go
come here for free.
Yeah.
So I think instead of saying how many slaves are there should have been like a cap of like, this is how much money we have for this program. These are how many people that we can accommodate.
Yeah.
If it gets around this number, let's have a conversation.
Then we have too many slaves.
No, and revisit how your projects can move forward. Right, you bake that into the research. You have check-in points. I don't know if there was a project manager or something.
Yes.
But firing somebody, because I'm pretty sure if there was 900, there's probably a lot more.
Oh, absolutely.
And this is the deep part. The man, Richard Cellini.
Yeah.
Is white, but he is somebody who is, I guess, skilled at
finding slaves.
Obviously, he's too skilled.
Would he have been a slave catcher back in his day? He's like Christoph Waltz in Inglourious Basterds.
Because I guess they said he started at Georgetown University and he located the descendants of 272
I just read that.
enslaved people at Georgetown. Oh, you just said that?
Yeah.
I must have been laughing. I'm sorry. And so then Harvard was like, yo, come over here.
Yeah, and that's where we found
and find our slaves.
Yeah.
Shout out to Richard Cellini. I mean, man, don't hire this man. I mean,
man. It's like you say, if a crackhead will steal money and help you look for it. That's this nigga's doing.
Oh no! It says in late January, he's pulling his car into the parking lot of Harvard Business School and prepared to begin another day of research, aka finding slaves. about to find me 10 today.
So racist.
Cellini,
it sounds so bad.
Cellini received a call from an HR person who said he and his team were fired effective immediately. He was never given an explanation.
Imagine being so good at your job that you just saturate the market. Like, you're just like, you know what? I mean, he's monopolized slave slave discovery.
Like he made too much money.
Like he's his own 23andMe. Like he's just identifying everybody.
The university spokesman told The Guardian, "We cannot comment on personnel matters." Oh my God! So he said his team is the world's best genealogist. Oh,
clearly,
man.
Clearly. I don't think anybody's going to dispute that at this point. This nigga found everybody.
I think we have a title.
Man.
Too many slaves.
Too many slaves. He need to find J. Edgar Hoover.
Oh,
he gonna find J. Edgar Hoover, JFK Jr.
Is Richard Cellini our black excellence?
Man,
he found so many.
He gonna find Tupac.
He found so many slaves. He was fired.
Yo,
oh my God,
Jesus Christ,
crazy.
Yeah, Richard Cellini. Let us know what Pac is, man.
Do we have a book? Do we have a white pages?
We have many books.
Okay, can we grab a book for our white pages? Oh my God, too many slaves. You know, I would say, like, be safe out there. We didn't even get into J.D. Vance calling Alex Padilla, Jose Padilla. It was just so much information out there and so much white supremacy and racism. It's just, I don't know if y'all want us to do 2 shows a week. I don't want if you do more, but it is wild out here. And yes, wild and racist out here. Too many slaves.
I just
Lord have mercy.
Not too many slaves. A couple.
Wait. Let's do our white page. Oh, you want to do it? You want to hold the book? Can you read that?
I don't know how to read.
Flash of the Spirit, African and Afro-American Art and Philosophy by Robert Ferris Thompson convinces the reader it is real important significance in the term Afro-American. Flash of the Spirit. This landmark book shows how 5 African civilizations have informed and reflected in aesthetic, social, and metaphysical traditions of black people in the United States, Cuba, Haiti, Trinidad, Mexico, Brazil, and other places of the world. Flash of the Spirit, African and Afro-American Art and Philosophy. It's our white pages. You had stuff coming up, Miracle? We got a bunch of stuff.
We got a bunch of stuff coming up on Thursday. 5 p.m. here in the city of Pittsburgh. We're going to be rallying for the disappeared to talk and move against the deportations.
Absolutely.
And the disappearance that Trump is doing.
Right.
On Sunday at 3 p.m., Trans Uniting is leading a rally at the UPMC headquarters because on Monday, trans affirming care for youth is going to stop, and that includes medical supports for people who are under the age of 19 and under. So full-grown adults are also going to be denied medical care. So those are some of the rallies that are happening. There's stuff happening every day as we get into the summer, but it's going to be really, really important for people to engage and support and to show up, because we still have to fight back. We still have to organize for our communities and still make sure that our communities have what they need to live, survive, and thrive.
It's not to go back to too many slaves,
but to go back to too many slaves.
It says Salini claims he was told repeatedly not to find too many descendants.
Find some, but not all.
At one point, the fear was expressed that if we found too many descendants, it would bankrupt the university.
I mean, hey, chickens coming home to roost, nigga.
And again, this is why we said college should be affordable. We should have free college. You shouldn't have to pay to go to college. You should be able to take these entrance exams, find your college, and then have your college be funded by the salaries you get with your taxes after. So this is a whole situation of their making, because you only charge tuition to keep black people out in the first place.
Check this quote. It says, Salini met with the finance director for the president's office, Patricia Harrington, this past fall. Harrington wouldn't give him a clear answer about his funding request, telling him, quote, unfortunately,
found too many.
Unfortunately, you keep finding more slaves. Bitch, that's my job! What? My job is to find slaves! What are you doing?
I just want to say, for the record,
he said,
this sounds crazy.
He said, quote, every new person is a source of guilt and shame for harboring. That's your fault!
Yeah,
he's not enslaving them, he's finding them! What the hell? Why did you bring me here to find slaves? He was like, what am I supposed to do to the evidence? Destroy it? Ignore it? I asked for guidance, and the answer that she said was, I don't know, but we shouldn't report too many descendants. Yo, can I get some more money?
Can you just make these niggas disappear again?
Anyway, I'm sorry. We got a lot going on here in Pittsburgh. Oh, with that being said, final comments.
Too many slaves, man. Too many slaves.
Too many slaves, too many deaths.
Too many bombs.
Too many bombs. Yeah,
too many bombs. Like,
yes.
We just need like peace, liberation.
Too much ignorance. Yeah.
Just like it is very taxing. Every time something pops off in the world, I unfortunately know people who are always impacted. So I'm always just trying to be like, Lord, please let my friends make it to see another day. It is wild, and I just think we just got to remember a better world is possible. Please, let's manifest Iran becoming mayor. Winning this first round.
Who becoming mayor?
Iran.
Oh, I thought you said Iran. I was like, wait, what? Okay, Iran becoming mayor. Yes.
Winning this first round.
Okay, I was like, who?
And, I don't like states. I like people. Remember this.
Yes.
Remember.
Correct.
Somebody tweeted out and said we have to remember cities have been around longer than states and countries, and we should always invest in cities. And I was like, you know what? That is very smart. But just chill. And it's hot outside.
It's hot.
So drink water. Eat. This is
Stay cool.
Watermelon, cantaloupe. This is the time for fruit.
Yes.
And just a good mojito. You don't have alcohol in your mojito. Like a lot of people don't realize a non-alcoholic mojito in this heat, 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10. Yes. Final comment, sir.
He's over it. He's looking up slaves right now.
With that being said, you're going to get a call. If you get a call, if your call ID says Richard Cellini, answer that bad boy. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Have a bag.
He done found your parents or your grandparents. With that being said, this was In White Supremacy, y'all. Peace. One hood.